Welcome to This Week in Warframe, the series where I keep you updated on the past week of Warframe, from announcements made by DE that don't necessarily warrant their own videos to community fan art, posts, and updates. So without further ado, let's go over these announcements and news from the 6th of May to the 12th. Starting this week's episode off, we had Devstream 111, and as promised in the last Devstream, we now have a preview of the Nidus Deluxe skin. That's what you're seeing on screen, and it'll have 4 different versions throughout his transformative stage. Now, the only skins in development at the moment are Vauban Deluxe and the Nidus Deluxe skin. The Nezha Deluxe has been placed on hold, for those wondering about that. Now, also in the dev stream, we saw more of the UI 3.0 changes and the login screen, and how the themes will work around that. Now, it will be coming with the Sacrifice quest, so we'll have to wait when that drops. However, the new controller support that they've been showing off as well will be coming in this week's mainline update, alongside the Saryn Rework and a few more things that I'll cover in the dev stream segment of this video. Now, they also gave us a showcase of the Dojo lighting system and how that operates in-game and in the Dojo instead of a base picture, so that looks pretty cool. They also gave us a preview of the new Dojo obstacle course system and a little course that Rebecca whipped up and all the things you can do with it. Now, there will be a bunch of new items that you can use to make a Dojo obstacle course, such as adding little enemies in that you have to kill before progressing to finish the course. After that, they talked about Operator Tennogen possibly coming to the game, but it does take up a lot more developer time to introduce Operator Tennogen items into the game, since there are separate parts of Operator clothing, such as the helmet, the chest, the arms, and the legs, and you have to check each different combination to see if it works well and combines fluently. Now, the Sentient arm cannon still has plans for development, but it currently isn't being worked on at the moment. They also showcased a full preview of the particle system, which we've been showing on this series for the past couple of weeks now. It's just a simple room showing off all the particles at once. Now, we did receive some new information on how you can change the quality of the particles. You can either have them off, low, medium, high, and ludicrous. I've covered it multiple times, but this will be coming to consoles, so for those of you who are going to ask the question, it will be coming to consoles. Now, the melee rework, we also got a whole lot of information in regards to that. Basically, channeling has been combined with blocking in terms of the 100% block chance that comes when channeling with a melee weapon. The false swing on charge attacks will be removed. The heavy attack apparently will be easier to execute and will possibly be tied to the combo meter as a stack type system. So build up the meter with your basic attacks and then you can use your heavy attacks. At least that's what I gathered from the stream. Now, the whole stance system will also be streamlined along all the melee weapons in the game, so there aren't so many combos that you have to memorize for each different weapon set. The melee range mods will also be reduced in their distance percentage, but the range on melee weapons themselves will be brought up to balance the change. Also, all melee attacks will no longer punch through walls. Now, they also showed off the in-game model for the giant katana, which we've seen a few times now, and that will be arriving with a new Warframe whenever they finish working on that. Now, Korra will also be receiving some more changes in the upcoming update, such as her ensnare permanently sleeping the enemies that it spreads to. The Whip Claw ability will now be affected by range mods with a cap of 2 times range, and Venari will also teleport to targeted units. Now, there will be some more changes coming to Korra, but those are the ones that they just listed in the dev stream. Now, moving on from Devstream 111 information, we received a developer workshop on Saryn and her upcoming rework. Now, the changes coming include the normal Saryn receiving an armor buff of 225 at the rank of 30, and Saryn Prime will have 300 armor at rank 30. Now, in regards to her Spore ability, Spores have been changed from viral to corrosive damage. They increase the status chance from 10% to 50%, and when an enemy who's affected by Spores dies, they'll spread the Spores to nearby enemies as well. Now, recasting Spores will also detonate all the active Spores on the field, and will deal 2 times the damage on the enemy that it's caught on. And that damage will be based on the amount of active Spores and their current damage per tick. Now, a meter showing the damage per tick will also appear on the UI and HUD, and also the Venom Dose augment will receive a change due to the changes coming to the ability. So now, when casting on an ally, it will temporarily grant them additional corrosive damage to all of their attacks. There will also be some Spore optimization in there for the ability as well. Now moving on to Molt. After casting, Saryn receives a momentary speed boost for a short duration. Molt will now scale, similar to Rhino's Iron Skin, where all the initial damage it takes will combine together to build the health of the Molt. They've improved effects to the ability, and her augment for the ability has gone unchanged. Moving on to Toxic Lash. When Toxic Lash is active, your weapons will trigger toxin status effects on any of your damage instances. They increase the duration from 30 to 45 seconds, and they haven't changed the ability of Toxic Lash to spread additional spores to nearby enemies. And the Contagion Cloud augment still does the same. Kills with Toxic Lash will leave behind a Toxin Cloud. However, it will also add a melee kill bonus. However, killing the enemies with melee will double the damage dealt by that leftover cloud. Now, in regards to Miasma, they've changed the damage type from corrosive to viral, and Miasma now has a 100% guaranteed viral status effect on each damage tick. They've increased the duration from 3 to 5 seconds, and Miasma now inflicts double damage to targeted enemies affected by the spores. And finally, when recasting on the same enemy, it will refresh the tick duration and maintain the viral status effect, but will not stun the enemies a second time round. Moving on from the Saryn Rework, we have a new update for consoles, update 22.18.8. I went over what it contains in the past this week in Warframe, but that is now live for both PS4 and Xbox One. After that, you can have a chance to appear in the Sacrifice promotional video by heading to the forum link in the description and posting a photo of your operator while they're in the operator customization menu. I suggest you read the full post before actually doing it, so you know exactly what I just said. Now, there will also be new Sentinel Augments coming in this week's update. Pablo tweeted off a carrier augment mod, which basically makes it so a little blast goes out, destroying any nearby crates. So that'll be coming for carrier, and I believe there will be some more coming as well. Now, there's also plans to add the bosses to Sanctuary Onslaught rounds. They are in the queue for development, but due to the amount of stuff they have working on at the moment, it was pushed back due to the shitbox of a launch that Sanctuary Onslaught was. So they do have plans to add bosses to Onslaught rounds. That was their initial intention, if you remember watching the dev streams or going over the information that I provided, but those hopefully will be eventually coming to Sanctuary Onslaught. Anyway, that concludes this week in Warframe. If you found the video informative, make sure to leave a like. If you think I can improve upon the series in any way, or just want to comment on anything that I talked about here today, make sure to leave it in a comment down below. Also, if you missed out on last week's episode, make sure you click the annotation on the screen, it'll take you right there. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.